consenting resolutions of support, so it's just a matter of when they install the bus stops. Then they become the cities going forward, but that, all that has been transit, I'm going to say, at least for 6 weeks now, if not longer. Okay, I'm sorry.
Did you find anything on Landing?
No, I did not.
Okay. Landing Lane Bridge, as far as we know, is out somewhere between 23 and 25 is the last I had heard. So I don't know, we haven't heard from DOT in quite a bit of time. Joyce Kilmer Phase 2, the project has been let. The contractors have been out there staging a little bit, but spoke to them this morning for a schedule. The heavy part of the work, because there's a school leading around within the footprint of the project limits, is to begin right after school gets out. And their deadline for completion is August 31st, so we have a hard deadline, about 4,000 feet. In addition to their work, PSE&G is going to be running conduit, an underground conduit section through there. And their goal, after speaking with us, is to try to marry up with our time frame so that it's all done and we can pave on our schedule. Hayden Street improvements, right at this point in time, it's a water main, transmission main project. They're doing the 8-inch section now, working from Jersey Avenue back towards the plant, and they are beyond Livingston at this point in time. I don't know exactly what block they're in.
They're between Lee and Remsen, and I think today they were going to start between Remsen and True.
They've been doing some, in addition to just running the lines, they've been doing some valve cuttings at the intersections along the way. So there's some patches and plates and so forth at various locations. So it's not just that immediate, block or so disruption, but there's some preparatory work for the larger transmission main that'll follow this. So this will go through, go back up and start again at Jersey with the 24-inch main. As they complete, and their target for completion, last schedule I saw was August, we will commence with our roadway improvement project, which is a DOT-funded effort, which goes from Jersey to Paul Robeson. Jules Lane, that's in design. Hoping to get that out within a month or two to DOT, and if that happens, it might be a fall job. But it's gone from just a road improvement project to a water main and road improvement project. That's what the delay is. Sanford Street, it's signal upgrades as well as a road improvement. So we're going to do a signal upgrade at Paul Robeson and the second signal upgrade at Remsen intersection. And then it's going to be the water main will be reconstructed along that route, and then the road improvement. That has received DOT review and approval, and we're hoping to get that out to bid before the end of the month. And again, that would probably make it a fall start, and the fall start work would probably be the signal work and the water main work, and probably the pavement, the concrete pavement work will probably push into the next spring. French East at Albany is ongoing. Signal work is ongoing. We're about to start work on the city's water main. That we jumped in and added to that project. The project is still slated for a end-of-year completion. We're coordinating some water main improvements and stubs for the hub along with that route, but the water main work is going to be a bit of a disruption as it starts at Albany and Georgia and goes west to the French Street rail overpass, and then it'll proceed up Easton Avenue.
They started that today.
They started
the 16 by 10 tap is being done as we speak.
Okay, yeah, they were going to do some wet taps, preliminary wet taps and stub-ins and line stops and so forth as part of that.
So that started today, just for the purpose of this.
Cancer Institute and parking lot. Cancer Institute has got steel under construction and so forth. The parking deck is coming. Well, it's still in the ground, but they're working through it. They're going to follow it by a little bit. There'll be I think towards the end of the month, they're going to shut down one block of Somerset to allow for some heavy crane lifts traffic signals at Jersey and Hale. That's part of the Bevalenti school improvement. The county is working through that with the developer. It's on track, but it's we don't have a start date for that. I believe this, last I knew, the schools anticipated to be in service for the beginning of the 2024 school year, so that, I believe that signal has got to be in service coincident to that start date. The LED traffic signal upgrade has been completed. We're in closeout, administrative closeout. The last thing that the contractor owes us are some spare parts. PSE&G substation. Again, the substation is technically just outside the limits, but out of it will come two major conduit routes that'll bring circuits to feed the downtown area and so forth. One going down Joyce Kilmer. The second one will proceed up 12th Street onto Livingston to, I think it's Hollywood, onto Remsen to Nielsen.
Correct.
So as part of that work, they'll be working on Livingston, in the section that is New Brunswick on one side, North Brunswick on the other side. I think this Friday night they've got a lane closure, right, to facilitate some of that work.
I think it's the test pits.
Test pits for the vaults that go over there. That project was projected to be about a 2-year-long project, and they've committed to paving curb to curb at the completion of the work. So that'll benefit the route that was originally intended, or the segment, the leg that was originally intended to go down Livingston, again has been offset to Remsen. So the city will benefit by having that right of way fully paved curb to curb. I think that pretty much wraps up your list. I'll throw one more item on there. The county has a bridge improvement project at what's the water course?
It would be Weston's Mill Pond.
Westonsville, and that's in progress. The city has tagged along and worked out something with East Brunswick. We're going to have a joint water interconnection to the benefit of both of us should we have a water emergency, and that project is in progress with it, again with an anticipated completion date at the end of the year. That pretty much covers it. That's all I have.
I'd like to report on our annual maintenance resurfacing program. This year, the following streets are going to be milled and then resurfaced by the Public Works Department. The projects Dan just spoke about are all large capital projects. This is an annual resurfacing program the city engages in. So it'll be Bristol Street from Gilden to Easton, Duke Street from Cortlandt to the terminus, Rucker Street from Remsen to Lee, Hayes Street from Simplex to Jersey Avenue, Redmond Street from Remsen to Throop, Hale Street from Joyce Kilmer to Livingston, and Todd Hill, Pennington to Tunison. Generally, we mill mid to late August, and the resurfacing happens right after that, and we follow up with our line striping. So this is typical of every year. We bounce around town and try to address worst condition streets, but also in some cases, if the street hasn't been touched in 20 or 25 years, we'll do that as well. And that's it for that.
Well, thank you very much. At this time, we will turn to the public comment section of the agenda. Do we have any public comment today?
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman. Just want to start off by thanking you for your professionalism and appreciate the opportunity to address you today. I think it's really good that this group is coming back together in person on a monthly basis, and did want to reiterate the suggestion that the city record the meetings. I understand that city attorneys advised against it, but I'll be here as often as I can and record as much as I can and share it with the world. But I do think it would be a best practice to to record the meetings and allow remote participation, as well as to schedule them at a time that's more convenient for members of the public. Obviously, there's only 2 of us here today. But yeah, this is a good thing that we're back here. I did want to thank the city and the county for agreeing to move ahead with the bus shelters on Livingston Avenue. Anxiously awaiting NJ Transit doing their part in providing the structures so that they can be turned over to the city and put into good use, and hopefully encourage more people to use the buses that we already have running. I think that'll be a really good thing to improve Livingston Avenue further. I did want to raise some issues about the new school being built on Jersey Avenue. As was mentioned, there's going to be a new traffic signal there, and I think we need to do much more to ensure students can get to school safely when that building opens. There's a lot of things to be concerned about. I know there is a Safe Routes to School program that the state offers, and I think that it would be wise for the city to apply for some grant funding through that program in anticipation of the school opening, hopefully on schedule in 2023. I did notice they just gave out the grants for this year, and a couple of Middlesex County municipalities got them, but New Brunswick was not one of them. And I think this is a particularly treacherous area, especially for young kids to be walking to and from every day. I know there's also public safety concerns. We've had, I believe, a shooting, a murder, and a stabbing all in this year in that general vicinity. And, I know this is not necessarily the appropriate venue to raise those concerns, but I will note that there's supposed to be a police representative here, and unless anybody's joined up with the police force that I don't know about, they're not here today. And I will also note there's really no other city government entity to raise these concerns about public safety. I think that they are real, right? This area in particular has seen a lot of violent crime, and it could be problematic if there's a lot of kids walking by themselves. Not only the crime, but also the heavy volume of traffic. We've seen also a number of crashes there. I haven't gotten all the information yet, but I understand it was a very serious crash this weekend at that Jersey Handy intersection, one of the busiest in town. So I would, respectfully suggest pursuing that Safe Routes to School program. I do know we have a duly elected Board of Ed member here, and I see he's been paying attention and taking notes. So I hope that someone in the city will pursue that type of comprehensive approach to improve the public safety and the traffic safety, in addition to the traffic signal that's already planned. And then finally, I just wanted to offer to share some information at a future meeting about ways we can improve our existing bus systems. I did make a presentation to this commission back in February of 2018 about the existing systems we have and how they can be improved. I'm proud to say I've fought for and succeeded in getting bus shelters built by Rutgers, by private developers, and by the city. And again, really pleased to see you're moving ahead with a whole bunch of them on Livingston Avenue. Bus shelters are just one piece, obviously. We need quality vehicles that don't emit pollution, and we also need those buses to be affordable and frequent so that people will actually use them and hopefully make your work easier by taking some of these cars off the road, improving the parking situation, and ultimately giving visitors and residents a better experience. So, I'd be happy to update my presentation and give a more thorough presentation at your next meeting or a future meeting if Mr. Chair, you would allow that. And that is all I have for today. So I just wanted to make that offer. And thank you again for your professionalism.
Thank you very much. We would look forward to a meeting.
I'd just like to add something I neglected to mention. I did speak with Sergeant Bode earlier. He apologized, could not make the meeting. But under old business, he and I had discussed some of the issues that we had discussed last time, and I'll report on those. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Hi, yes, Danielle Moore, Somerset Street. I will continue with, what Mr. Cradwell was saying, due to where I think New Brunswick needs much more attention, safety, traffic-wise, through New Brunswick Police Department. They're doing a horrible job, and I meant, come on, how many hit and runs, accidents in the past 15 days, a car vehicle accident every day in the past 15 days? Come on, New Brunswick Police Department needs to get out and start, what, if it's 25 miles per hour you're supposed to be doing? Give out tickets. What, if you're not supposed to be talking on the phone? Give out tickets. Wow, I'm in extremely too many motor vehicle crashes in New Brunswick. And to witness, wow, last week a 3-car accident in front of my house, on Somerset Street. Wow, 3 cars involved, hit and run, first vehicle leaves. By the time 20 minutes it takes New Brunswick Police Department to get there, wow, the other 2 drivers leave their vehicle there? Come on, what is New Brunswick Police Department doing in regards to what? People, no license, no registration, no insurance. And I regard you due to where, what, the evidence is up there, due to where I'm on Facebook, Danielle Moore, I provide you with the evidence, but come on, the police department needs to do a better job as far as traffic and safety throughout New Brunswick, instead of dealing with all these construction sites, which you have way too many construction sites going on at one time. And I will lead due to a safety hazard. I don't know how long it's going to be closed. That's with French Street involving the sidewalk closed over there. Why do you have this? Why do you wait till the pedestrian gets to the corner and say sidewalk closed, where you should say on the corner of Joyce Comer Avenue and French Street, this sidewalk is closed so the pedestrians can walk across the walkway? And is the police directing people across the traffic? Due to where, wow, when I passed through this morning walking, someone almost got hit. What are the police doing? What are they on scene for? I'm really very upset with New Brunswick Police. I'm not going to say police officers. I'm going to say New Brunswick Head Police Department, due to where what? What are they doing to make sure that it's safe around here? And it's very sad. Like I said, wow, 15 crashes. I would like to know what, if you can, someone can tell me, wow, out of all these motor vehicle crashes that are taking down traffic lights and signs, is the city paying for this, or are you going after the insurance of these motor vehicle drivers? Can someone give me an answer on that?
When a asphalt driver hits a bit of our infrastructure, such as a traffic light, or takes it out, the question is, would that asphalt driver's insurance bear the cost to repair, or would the city pay for that?
The claim goes through the trucking company, number one, and depending on whose signal is it, there's 3 different signal jurisdictions in town. You have the New Jersey DOT has a bunch of signals. In fact, George and Nickel.
Yes, exactly.
That was a state signal that was hit by a car or a truck. That's between the state and their insurance claims to the driver. If it's a county signal, likewise, or if it's a city signal, likewise. But yeah, it goes against the driver and also against the company.
Well, okay, I surely hope to, due to as many signs. That's one thing I do have on my list, to see how many signs that are being taken down through New Brunswick. Like I said, wow, this is so where you would say that I would never have patience. I really wanted to see, wow, the accident that was in front of my house last year, in June 2021, I said, let me see how long it's going to take. Well, what, the driver took down all the signs. Paul Street and Somerset Street, the pedestrian signs still never replaced, due to where I think the city is, come on, it is, like I said, not paying, I'm not going to say not paying attention, but I think more attention needs to be involved in the city of safety. And like I said, due to where, yes, I don't walk around to see things, but like I said, whatever the Lord lets me see, I will speak on, and that's why He let me see it. But like I said, due to where sad to say, I have a very long list today, and I will say you my concerns that I just had on Joyce Comer and Handy Street. God bless that you put the walk signals there for the pedestrians, but I do have the video after the meeting if any of you want to see. Please, I say they need to be adjusted, not for the timer to tell you 1 minute, that you have 1 minute to cross and the light is red already. So please, like I said, I appreciate you putting your walk systems around, but yes, please do go around and do to where they need to be on the correct timing to warn a pedestrian, okay, no, do not cross the street, not at the same time that the red light turns. And like I said, I will show any of you the video after the meeting. And due to where what's being brought to my attention by a few crossing guards that I know that said, even though school is getting out, but I still take this matter seriously, please, something needs to be done for us between Sanford Street on Lee Avenue and Comstock Street, due to where they're requesting another speed bump, due to where you have, or to elevate the speed bump that's over there already, but something has to be done to slow the traffic down over there as well, due to where the crossing guards and the parents aren't feeling safe over there. Some people, they don't have the courage to speak up, but like I said, they will speak to me and I will speak on it. For us still to see where we talked, Mr. Valently, before, that with Livingston Avenue and Delavan lights still out, due to where you said they were possible back on, but like I said, I did a video, they're still out, due to where I'm going to talk with the county tonight and ask them when they have to dig up the ground due to...
It's not the county, it's public service.
Well,
Those lights were reported on several occasions to public service.
no, I believe me, like I said, I was there, the Lord, like I said, the Lord blesses me, like I said, with timing right there, when the guys were there, I have it on video as well, where he told me that it has to be digged up due to where the wires were cut when the old light was removed, so the whole project has to be redone, and it has to be dug up again over there. I was over there, like I said, just walking in the time right, due to where I was over there with PSE&G and the other one after the last crash that we spoke about right there on that corner. And then far as with Saddam and French Street, same thing with the signal lights, due to where ever since you put up those cameras on the street lights over there, due to where it is a shortage over there, due to where some days, like I said, where the lights can be on, and then some days the lights are off, due to where 3 lights out on French, all from Saddam to Townsend Street. Like I said, with the walkway, it does not tell you to walk the sign. It does not tell you to walk. So like I said, please, this is my second meeting telling you this, due to where there's a shortage over there somewhere that keeps messing with the lights and the walk signals.
Where is this, what location?
This is Saddam and French Street. As soon as those cameras were put up over there on the street lights, yes, it started happening over there. It's very frequently. And then my last thing, I will say, due to where from the construction workers, from the motor vehicle crashes, and then from people also in New Brunswick, where you have too many of your safety signs down, where your construction jobs done, once they take them down, for example, on Somerset Street, putting up the poles and everything, nothing hasn't been replaced. So please tell me, who's in charge of traffic? Do you even take the time to go through these streets to really see what is going on? With a lot, due to where I don't see, as far as with traffic being done, and like I said, between the police department, the traffic, it's very sad. Do I really have, like I said, I don't work for the city, but like I said, I'm walking out for my therapy, for my back, but like I said, the Lord lets me see things due to where I'm the one to speak on it. And the last thing I will say, thank you for Rutgers and Lee with the paving, due to where that was a concern, due to where, thank God bless that road will be doing. So most of these roads are being done due to where those are roads where they hold so much water in front of your house that, wow, it creates a bad odor during the summertime. Thank you, Jesus, that you are doing a lot of these streets due to where, and I hope it's done due to where the water can pass and flow through, due to where it doesn't sit in people's front of houses and create a situation, the odor, bugs, flies, everything, and where you can't even park on the road. That was a big issue where Mr. Valently, we had discussed last year about. Thank you. So, but like I said, due to where I don't really want to hold you up too long, but due to where I am the person that's so much concerned about with traffic throughout New Brunswick, because like I said, I know what it's like to be a victim. Money doesn't take away pain. But like I said, due to where I hope you can look into it, and then other for safety reasons as well. Please, for traffic and other public safety, I think it's time for the city to get prepared for hurricane season, as I mentioned last night at the city council. Due to where with your trees and your signs, due to where they cannot handle the wind, I think someone needs to really, from the traffic authority, start walking through here to start adjusting, putting cement down with your signs and all to make sure, due to where you already have too many down. And like I said, a lot of your signs cannot hold the wind already. So I don't want to hold you up, but like I said, God bless. I hope you really take me seriously on a lot of things that I do say. Thank you.
Thank you. If you have a moment, one point of clarification on your third to last item, where you mentioned the construction-related signage on Somerset Street. Is the concern that there's signage in place after a job finishes and it's not removed? Or is it the opposite? This job has started, but there's not enough signage on the street?
No, that's where if the sign was there already and they removed the sign to put a pole there, they never put the sign back up.
I see, at the end of the job.
At the end of the job, due to where with PSE&D replacing a lot of the PSE wiring, and it's happening a lot of locations. So like I said, thank you for asking and looking into it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we have no old business or new business, other than Mr. Valenti has a couple of updates, I believe.
Yeah, at the last meeting, at the request of Ms. Moore, both Sergeant Abode and I looked at two items that Ms. Moore brought up. One was the lack, I'll say, the fact that there was the corner of Georges Road turning right onto Paul Robeson Boulevard headed towards Northway or headed towards Route 18 does not have a no turn on red sign there. Both Sergeant Abode and I spoke. I believe he reached out to the crossing guard. I'm not sure if he did, but we agree that we're going to reinstitute that no turn red at that point. So you'll see ordinance on first reading at next council meeting, reinstating that no turn red. It's a function of the ordinance. The other item Ms. Moore brought up was, and this is unfortunately going on for decades, but the concern with the new school on Jersey Avenue is a common practice for a lot of drivers is to attempt to bifurcate or bypass the traffic signal at Handy and Jersey Avenue. And a lot of times, traffic will try to cut through the Walgreens parking area, if you would. The police is aware of it. This is not the easiest enforcement because there's a lot of traffic that goes into the mall. And quite honestly, if they're going to the store, they're going to the Walgreens, they're entitled to be able to do that. So it's a difficult enforcement issue. They're going to keep an eye on it, and I guess they're going to spot people there. If they witness people not pulling into a parking spot and going into a store, then they have the ability to ticket them. So it is a big cut through. Part of our reason for leaving the planters on the short section of Baldwin Street between Jersey and French was in order to circumvent some of that cut through. We found it was a common practice that cars that were trying to cross town would come up Lewis Street. They would tend to make a right up to Somerset and then a left on, I believe it's Bethany, and Bethany crosses right to that short section of Baldwin, which then crosses Jersey up to the track, so they would circumvent the traffic lights. And quite honestly, one of the crashes some time ago at the end of War Memorial Park project was actually due to that. It was a car trying to cut through. It's an awkwardly shaped interchange. You have a split of Handy and French and Jersey. It's just very awkward, and the potential remedies are not simplistic at all. So I know the county has struggled with this for a while. They've also struggled with the improvements to Sedan and French, and again, it's another awkward intersection because Sedan and Lewis are offset from each other. It's not a true four-way, so you end up with an awkward, traffic pattern there. Likewise, at the afternoon rush, I've witnessed plenty of folks blocking. They'll go right through the signal and block French, so you can't get across. So there's multiple factors, and there's no simple solution, unfortunately. But clearly, I know it's on the minds of folks to try to resolve it. Anyway, specific to the items Ms. Moore brought up. That's my response.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any roundtable items at this time from any of the members?
I had a person talk to me about the George Street closure, and they made a suggestion, if you guys can think about it, that Church Street and Patterson Street, the two lights, just turn them into blinking red. So the cars stop, so they don't have to wait for a
They don't
green.
stop. In the beginning,
Right.
just so you know, we had the church light blinking,
And it
and
didn't.
pedestrians almost got hit.
Okay.
So we
all right.
found if we leave it red,
Red, then.
they're not gonna do the bob and weave or the stop and weave.
Okay.
So I witnessed, and my wife in her wheelchair almost got hit.
Yeah. No, I.
And
Well-
that was with a red blinker. Not only me, but I witnessed other folks at different times. The cars coming up church, if it's a blinking light, they're not even looking.
Okay.
And so we felt it was prudent to leave it red so that it would force the cars to stop and that
Okay.
pedestrians would be better.
That's
Okay,
all.
that was it, okay. But we did look at that.
Good.
In the beginning, we had it set of
Yeah.
thinking. And it took about 2 weeks and then we went back to, unfortunately.
I had an observation that I've been noticing on my way home sometimes, oftentimes, excuse me, at rush hour at the intersection of Conduct and Easton. It's kind of, to put it lightly and nicely, it's a mess. And we have, when people on Easton going, I guess that's north, make a left onto Conduct, it's a really big problem as they're crossing traffic coming down southward. You can't see because of the way that cars end up stacked there. That intersection of sorts gets blocked and visibility is very poor. They just dart in and make a left. But also then you have the equal and opposite problem of people on Conduct darting out and making a left onto Easton, where they might not be able to see people who are coming up Easton. I haven't seen any accidents, but I've seen a lot of very, very near misses, pretty much multiple times a week. And I think it's worth at least considering and seeing if it may be prudent to just get rid of, prohibit left turns from Conduct onto Easton and from Easton onto Conduct. You could still, if you're coming southward, you could still make a right, and if you're on Conduct, you could still make a right onto Easton, but to just eliminate the lefts on and the lefts off of Conduct. Or at least, I'm not saying do it, I'm saying we should look into it. I'm not a traffic engineer,
Any thoughts on that?
Well, it's awkward because of the construction that's going on. I don't disagree, it can be a problematic area. Maybe we should consider making Conduct one way, Easton to Hardenburg. That's a possibility to consider.
But
And then
well,
still
you mean-
eliminate the left from Easton to Conduct.
it eliminates one left.
Yeah, just coming down.
That would eliminate, the one way would eliminate, it's only a short street. The issue becomes, if you're on Hardenburg, you have to go to Somerset, left on Somerset, left on Easton, left on Hamilton.
Yeah.
How you gonna get to Conduct, it just becomes a little bit problematic. I mean, it's worth looking at. I gotta really think about the flow,
Yeah,
traffic flow at that point.
yeah. And that may be something to, we look into now, and then once construction over there is wrapped up, and traffic patterns kind of get cleaned up, that we figure out a better way to tackle it too. Maybe.
Yeah, I suspect that you'll have a lot of inflow from Hamilton to Hardenburg to access the parking deck. I'm not sure, I think the intended parking deck entrance is just
Right
about
off,
where
I think it's
Conduct.
right off the end of Conduct.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Park, a couple, 50
But
feet.
if I'm in
each
Franklin,
way.
I'm gonna come up Hamilton, make a right on Hardenburg into the deck.
Well, that's what we should encourage, because then you have signalization. I think at both intersections, if I'm not, no,
No,
just
not
one.
in Hamilton and, you don't have it in
No,
Hamilton.
but you do have one, otherwise you have none.
Right,
So
right,
we should be encouraging people to turn.
right. And then clearly there, if you're coming from Route 18 to get there, you're gonna probably come up,
Somerset.
French to Easton. Because Hardenburg's one way, unless you go down, you go in front of the hospital and go down to Division to get into the deck. It's just,
Well, Hardenburg's one way right now, but I
no,
don't
what
know.
I'm saying, so either you go Easton to Hamilton to Hardenburg,
Mhm.
or you can go Easton to Somerset to Division.
But,
And doesn't the deck have in and out on Division as well?
but why, could you not go Easton to Somerset to Hardenburg and then make a left into the
Hardenburg's
deck?
one way,
But I thought that that was just a temporary measure under construction.
currently, but
We don't know, right?
correct. Specifically did it one way towards the hospital in
No,
order
I
to
understand that why
facilitate
Yeah,
ambulance egress, you know,
Yeah,
emergency.
no, of course.
Um,
It's complicated,
It's a little bit tricky there.
for sure. I just wanted to bring it up.
I understood it.
Didn't want to get in
No,
derailed.
it's worth to consider, there's no doubt.
That's it for me.
Any other roundtable items? In that case, do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion.
Actually, I'm sorry, let me bring up one quick item.
Sure.
My apologies, guys. We have a request from the fire department to add a series of, the problem that they're having on Bartlett Street is during pickup and drop off of the students, a lot of cars are being parked directly across from engine 5. And if they have to answer a call, they cannot swing out of the firehouse. So in response to that, we're going to add some, there's already signs there, it's already by ordinance, there's no parking there, but we're gonna add a bunch of crosshatch yellow directly in front of the firehouse to dissuade folks from parking right there. There's plenty of room down the street they can park that doesn't interfere with the response to engine 5. We also have a request from the Science and Technology High School at the end of Bayard Street, again during drop-off and pickup, along with the other traffic exiting Bayard trying to get southbound on French, that becomes problematic. Now, fortunately, there will be a traffic signal installed there prior to the occupancy of Plum 2, which is a function of the zoning approval, I believe.
Yeah, right.
And I believe the county finally executed a three-party agreement between the city, the county, and the developer. So it sounds like that's in progress. But notwithstanding, we're going to add some yellow hashing and reinforce the no parking adjacent to the Science and Technology High School. So I'm going to bring in, if anyone else has something that is more emergent or just room for thought, we are going to mobilize our traffic striper a little bit early this year. I'll probably end up with 2 mobilizations, because then we generally bring them in as soon as we're done with our surface program, and then anything else that needs upgrading. So clearly, this first effort, I hope, will be in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So if anyone thinks of anything else, please let me know, and we can consider doing that in short order. All right, sorry to interrupt. I apologize.
We have a motion to